Living room conversation.
If you're live in a room, isn't it a living room?
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Living Room Conversations. My name is Joshua Fields Milburn.
And I am Ryan Nicodemus, and together we are the Minimalists. Today we're talking about New Year's resolutions.
We are indeed. We're here in my living room in Los Angeles, California, and it is a new year. Happy New Year to you all. And man, it's weird. We live in a place without, there's two seasons. It's like summer and diet summer.
Yes, summer and summer light.
we're in diet summer right now.
Yeah.
It's interesting because as we go through seasons of our life, the metaphor for seasons to me is really important. So when we talk about Timmy's question here, Timmy wants to know, what are the minimalists' New Year's resolutions? Well, let's just talk about resolutions in general. I mean, sometimes it's nice to put out a resolution, but it can be overwhelming if we're just going to have this big, arbitrary goal at this arbitrary time of year. You don't have to wait till a new year to have a new resolution. And by the way, your resolutions don't have to be this mountainous achievement.
Yeah.
We can have everyday resolutions. I resolve to do X, Y, and Z. What are the meaningful things that I'm going to do? Or what am I going to do this week? A week can be a particular season for you. I know for me, I wrote something on our website recently called the Rule of Two. And I get overwhelmed with trying to take care of myself and my health and just spending the right amount of time alone. I'm an extreme introvert, and so I want to make sure I get enough time alone, but I want that time to be meaningful as well. So I came up with like 11 different activities that I have to do at least twice a week. Not every single day though, so it removes that burden of, am I going to do this every day? Things like cycling or if going to the gym, or meditating, or writing, or reading. Now the truth is, I do a lot of these things more than 2 times a week. But if I do it twice, then I give myself permission to feel satisfied. And if I do it more than twice, I feel like a champion, like I'm overachieving. But I set it up, I make it relatively simple to do. It's not easy to fulfill that. But I don't think you have to wait until the new year to figure out what your new resolution is. But since it is a new year, we can talk about, I think it's a perfect time of year to start figuring out, okay, what will my future self be happy about? And I start with the stuff because I think our physical possessions, our material possessions, are a physical manifestation of what's going on inside us. And so the new year is a perfect time to start addressing some of that external clutter. Yeah. It's a great time to play the 30-day minimalism game. We'll put a link to that below if you don't know what the 30-day minimalism game is. But basically, it's a great way to partner up with someone and get rid of some stuff together. I think we've had over 70,000 people play the 30-day minimalism game at this point. And so what I've learned in the process is that letting go is sort of like a muscle. And the more that you build it, the stronger it gets and the easier it becomes for you to let go. So in this new year, you might be overwhelmed with letting go because you have all these things you want to accomplish this year. But for me, it's just about starting somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, what's the Nike slogan? Just do it, right? Yeah. The more appropriate slogan for me personally, because I find that the Nike slogan is useful. It's pithy, it's like soundbite-ish, but the more useful slogan would be just do something.
Right.
Start somewhere. And we're overwhelmed with all the choices, the paradox of choice. I want to fix my health this year. I want to fix my relationships. I want to finally write that novel or start that blog. I want to get rid of all this excess stuff. You don't have to do it all right now, but just do something. Start somewhere.
Yeah. It's funny because with New Year's resolutions, sometimes it'll set me up for almost a setback. Because, sometimes what I'll find myself doing is, I don't do this anymore, but what I would do is I'd tell myself, okay, it's a new year. I'm going to lose weight.
Yeah.
I'm going to exercise regularly.
Right.
I'm going to, get on the Peloton more. I said all these things that I want to do. And then within the first week, I'll maybe miss exercising. And then the next week, I fall off and my diet isn't so well. Well, then I kind of look in the mirror and I'm like, man, all these things that I've just, set myself up, expected myself to get better on, I really haven't been doing that well. So, you know what? I've already failed at 2 or 3 of these things. I'm just going to give up on all 5 of those things. Yeah. And that is, I think that's the dangerous part of resolutions. But to your point, man, we don't care about your resolutions. We don't care if you have one resolution or if you have 5 resolutions. What we care about is that you do something. And that's what it comes down to. You don't have to wait till January 1st. You could start doing something better now. You can start incorporating better habits in your life now.
Well, in fact, this comes out January 2nd. Maybe you screwed up and you yesterday wasn't the start of a new resolution. That's okay. Today is a new opportunity for a start on whatever that new resolution is. And I like the metaphor for the seasonality bit, because we have these different seasons in our life, and sometimes they can be like literally reflected by, in conjunction with the seasons that we're dealing with now. So it's winter time right now, and so we may be less active outdoors. We may be doing fewer things that we want to do with respect to our health. It doesn't mean that we can't do them, but it might mean that now is the perfect time to look inward and look in the house and say, okay, what's going on here? How do I set my home up so that later this year I can enjoy being outdoors and I'm not constantly worried about coming home and fixing that thing, cleaning that thing, taking care of the things that don't really add value to my life.
You know, I think the only thing I'd add to this, Josh, is if you're someone who you feel like, you know, you've done a really good job with incorporating good habits into your life, and, you know, you see everyone around you making these New Year's resolutions, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, you know what, I've been doing pretty good, but maybe I should do a New Year's resolution. Don't just arbitrarily pick up a new resolution because everyone else is declaring these New Year's resolutions. Because I'll tell you, it's too often, man, that sometimes I've been, you know, going straight and true, and then I have, you know, someone in my life who's like, you know what, recently I've been learning Spanish. I'm just throwing this out there. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, I need to add something else into my life. If they can add that into their life, I can add that into my life.
Right.
And that can also set you up for a failure. So don't feel pressured to just add in resolutions if your friends are doing it.
Yeah, I think we have to be intentional about what we're trying to improve. There are so many things that we'll want to improve in our lives over time, and really that's a big component of living a meaningful life, is this constant incremental improvement and occasional leaps in improvement as well. That's really important. Changing jobs or you know, maybe changing diets radically. There are some big leaps that we can take in our lives. But the question then becomes, like, what is important to you? What does a meaningful life look like to you? Not what is someone else's meaningful life, and I'll try to conform my life around that definition, because man, that will definitely set you up for some discontent. So whatever your New Year's resolution is, we definitely wish you well. If you enjoy these living room conversations, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have a question for living room conversations, leave it below and somewhere in the comments there. Here, down there, right there.
Click here. No, click here. No, click there.
No, you don't have to click anywhere if you don't want to.
No.
It's okay. Don't click. You can just close your computer now and go do something more meaningful with your time. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time.
See you later. Thanks for watching.
The Minimalists.